saying you'll never be. Don't listen to them. You feel weak and have lost all your courage. Be brave. Be bold. Guess what? It all ends right now. Welcome to Just Rita, a show that empowers women all over the world to be the best version of themselves.
That is kind of
no matter where you come from, that will not dictate who you will be in life. Join your host, Rita Doman, right now and learn that you can have it all because you know you are worthy of all those goodies in life and want to make your life shine. It's just in time. It's just for you. It's just that simple. It's Just Rita. Now, here is your host of the Just Rita radio show, Rita Doman.
Oh my God, here we are. This is show number 3. We have Kristin Crockett here today.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. And we are on Facebook Live. Mary Knopf is there. Hey, Mary. And then we also have people in YouTube land, which is awesome. Ariel is there. I'm waiting for my moderators, Cindy Malone, to get in there. So it'll be a lot of fun. So we are learning how to evolve this show. So I think we're doing pretty good. It gets nerve-wracking. I'm not kidding. You know, it's one thing when you walk into a radio show, a radio station, and you sit down and you just sit there and you are ready to go on. You've got your producer. You have, you know, your producer is doing all of, you know, the sound checks, the music, everything, right? And here I'm like trying to fuddle along, learning how to do it all on my own. So it does get a little nerve-wracking, but
and yet
it's
you're doing
fun. Yeah, we've got Gary out there. Hey, Gary. So, oh my gosh, you guys, it is Thanksgiving. How did everybody survive Halloween?
Well, I survived.
Oh
So,
my gosh, I know, right? We did, in my neighborhood, Orchard Heights, we had a Halloween party. I think it was last weekend, not the one that just passed, for the kids in the neighborhood. And so it was so much fun to have the kids come. We had to come at 5 o'clock. Next to our house, we have like woods, which is one of our parks. Mm-hmm. So my husband and I carved a whole bunch of pumpkins, stuck them up in the trees. We had candles in them. So when it got dark, they were glowing. We had Rice Krispie treats that I made.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It was. We had a little bonfire going. So then at the end of the party, when they left, then the parents and I, we stayed, and we just all had a very good time until around 11:30.
Now that
around
like
the bonfire.
Yes.
So, oh my God, it was so much fun. But I noticed that somehow we went from Halloween to Christmas.
We did.
We have
I
no
saw that in the stores yesterday. And every year I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not ready to process Christmas yet. What about Thanksgiving? That's one of my favorite holidays.
It's one of my favorite holidays as well. So my husband was trying to find a Thanksgiving, like a turkey. So we have a plate with a turkey on it. And then I've got these little guys here. So I've got, you know, that kind of stuff. But my sister made this last year.
Oh, that's cute.
She took one of those pie pumpkins and roasted the pumpkin shell and then stuck a bunch of stuff in there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be perfect to have that on there. Mm-hmm. So happy November. And we've only got, what, like 2.5 weeks to go before it's Thanksgiving already? How crazy is that?
I think it's great, though. It'll be here before we know it.
I know. And the weather has been unbelievably nice.
Yes, it has. We're sitting, you know, yesterday was 70 degrees. I'm like, should I be in shorts and a t-shirt? It's November. This is awesome.
Yes, I still was in my sweatpants and my sweatshirt, and because we were busy cleaning and getting stuff done. Mm-hmm. And we were doing that too on Saturday. Saturday was nice. Mm-hmm. But if you notice, at night, it gets really cold.
It does.
And I don't think we are in Indian summer yet. I don't think we've actually had a deep freeze, like a really hard frost yet.
We haven't. We still have, our tomatoes are still growing.
Which means that we're not in Indian summer yet. Mm-hmm. So we're waiting for that old man winter to come on our gardens.
Maybe he'll miss us this year. That would be super.
No. We're supposed to. The Farmer's Almanac said we are supposed to get loaded with snow. So, which I'm excited about because I love snow. I love being in, the Midwest, being where we are here in McHenry, over by, conservation area. I just love it. I love the winter. Here. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. So I am so forever thankful. So this is show number 3, and I am forever thankful of having this house, this office, being smart enough to actually have the show go on from the radio station to here, and it has just been a blessing for me. So I am forever grateful for that. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for, of course, my family.
Yes.
My triplets. My triplets just turned 9 in September.
Can you believe it? Triplets! Oh my God, and they're 9.
Yes.
That's crazy. 2 girls and a boy, right?
2 girls and a boy.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm really grateful for this whole journey that I've been on the last 2.5 years. Just the whole journey, finding coaching, seeking, a better version, not better, but the true authentic version of myself, and letting that come out more and more and more.
Oh my God, for sure.
It's just been awesome.
Yeah.
It's just been awesome, exciting, painful at times, just everything has just been such a great journey, and I'm just grateful for the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. So Kristin is a deserve level coach, and she is somebody who she has had her life. She's still having her life, obviously, but it's all in how we perceive things. So in a little bit, we're going to get going on the show, and we're going to talk about deserve level, what it is, what Kristin does, all that kind of thing. And it's so exciting. And we talk a lot. So we visit with each other. And when we meet for an hour, it tends to be 4 or 5 hours?
Yes. Yes, it does.
It does.
Time in that coffee shop.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And it's so much fun when you can start talking about other things other than the weather or shopping or superficial stuff just to keep a conversation go. But when you can start talking about deep-rooted things and your goals and things that you love to do, it really is amazing.
And your purpose in life. I mean, that's pretty cool. I love talking
I know. And yes, you know what? I have to say, Mary, my girlfriend, she watched that movie Joy. You know the lady who made the mop, the new mop, the mop where it's all connected, you twist it so you never have to touch the dirty water or cut your hand, because that's why she started, she developed it. And so watching that movie yesterday, because she's like, Rita, you've got to see it. It's sad, but you've got to see it. And every time that woman came up to a big, gigantic wall, she plowed right through it. She did not let it stop her. And to me, that was amazing. And I think about my own self, like, I'm not on the radio anymore, but I've created this instead. Do you know what I'm saying?
In how many hours?
In just a few hours.
Yes, it was like, I can't stop. I just gotta go on.
Exactly.
I gotta go on. I'm gonna do this.
Just Rita Real Talk must go on. The show must go on. So that was something where when I was watching it yesterday, I could see all the walls where in life, past life, and I've been stopped. And I allowed myself to stay stopped.
Yeah.
But now, when, with the show and things that I'm doing and everything that I put into it, so literally I'm putting my heart and soul into this, and it brings tears to my eyes because I love it.
Yeah.
And I want to share that with everybody. And so for me, it's something where I will not let anything stand in my way. I will go through whatever it takes, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. So if you see me fuddling along with pushing this button or doing that or whatever, it's perfect just the way it is, because everybody out there gets to see the Just Rita Real Talk in full Monty. It doesn't matter. So I could be everything perfect, and that's awesome, or things could be moving around. And last show the phone went off 3 times because it overheated, because there was so much spirit in the area, in the room. It was unbelievable. But stuff like that, you're just like, let it go, and you just roll with it. And when I was watching that show last night, it was amazing to me. And you know what else amazed me? Her family was pretty crappy. I mean, I would have ditched that family a long time ago. And she still loved them to the end of her days.
But it looked too how she evolved in her family.
Yeah.
Like she created a person, and I kind of look at that like she created this person in her family and how she was going to behave and how she was going to act. And that's her family acted in accordance with what she created in herself.
Yes,
too.
and to have like her half sister so jealous of her. Mm-hmm. That to me was like, oh my God, I don't even know. And every chance she could, she tried to sabotage her.
Every chance.
Every chance. And then the father just kept saying, it's my fault. I should have never told you could be more than, than this. You're only this. And it was like, oh my God. When I look at my own son, he's now 24, going to be 25 next month. I would be out of my mind if something would definitely be wrong with me if I ever said those words to my kid. I mean, you literally would have to take me to the emergency room because there would be something wrong with me. I would never tell my son ever not to, go along with his dreams. Oh gosh, no. Because money is just an obstacle. Money is just, exchange. Mm-hmm. Even though it stops a lot of us.
It does stop a lot of us.
You know what I mean? Yes. But if you can still keep going through, like for the show, all it takes really, technically, is a couple of props, mm-hmm. and then my time, really, and then trying to figure it all out. And how can I be better next week than I was this week? And I think we got off pretty good this week than we did last week and the week prior. So it's like you start to get comfortable and learn how to get better.
You learn how to get better. You allow yourself the freedom to learn how to get better.
Yeah.
I even think about what we just said, money stops a lot of us, or we allow things to stop us.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to stop our mindset. It doesn't have to make us feel bad about ourselves. It doesn't have to have us alter the way we view ourselves, the world, other people.
Right.
And
exactly.
That's a huge thing.
Really, it is. And now that we're going into Thanksgiving, that's something that we want to start looking at. How can we be different? How can we change? How can we go into our holiday season different than what we normally are? Mm-hmm. Do we have to get crazy? Do we have to spend all the money? Do we have to overbuy and outdo the Joneses next door? No. But we're going to talk about all that too. Yeah. But here we also are. We're going to do our cards.
Oh, cards.
So we used to do with Kate Spencer, and I love Kate Spencer. Mm-hmm. And Kate Spencer's in the UK. She's Kate Spencer or Kate _Spencer.com. She's amazing. She does the cards on Sunday. And Cindy Malone, who is my moderator, she also is somebody who, she's like, Rita, you got to start doing it yourself. I'm like, okay, I will. So I'm going to pull out 3 cards. So everybody pick your card because I'm going to read them. So it's either going to be 1, 2, or 3. And I'm telling you, the cards never, ever lie. So whatever card is good for you, you're going to pick it. Okay?
Okay.
So you guys out there too. If you're in YouTube land, go to Just Rita Real Talk. You'll see me there, and I've got the chat up so I can hopefully see them. I do have my mouse close to me so I can go up and down, but I won't be able to actually type along. I could probably put in a smiley face or 2.
An emoticon.
Exactly, right? Or
emoji
pick the wrong one.
I've done that a few times. You picked the wrong emoticon.
All right, so here we go. Okay. All right, so 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to go with... Oh, my God, you go first. I don't know.
I have to go with 3.
You're going to go with 3?
Yes.
I have to go with 3 as well.
Let's go with
3 is mine. So what is everybody doing? So even if you guys are watching in YouTube, Facebook Live, go ahead and pick your number. 1, 2, or 3. So we've got 2 for 3 for sure. All right, so number 1, Cosmic Heart. So in these cards, if you're ever looking, they're with Diana Cooper. These are the Ascension Master cards. So these are amazing cards. So this will really get you on track for the week. So number 1, Cosmic Heart. This card invites you to open your heart fully and tune into the love radiating from Venus, which is the heart center of the universe. Pure unconditional love is held within Venus at ninth dimensional frequency, a higher frequency than we can currently access. The angels are suggesting that you find time today to call on Mother Mary or the unicorns. I love the unicorns, honestly.
I have Mother Mary on.
You do?
I do.
Oh my God, there you go.
Funny.
With their help, you can step down this powerful but gentle love to a level you can handle and bring into your heart center. Breathe in love from the cosmic heart and radiate it outwards to everyone today. And so your affirmation for today would be, I am in cosmic heart.
Oh, I like that.
I do too.
That's nice.
So don't sweat the small stuff, you guys. Just call on your unicorns. Your unicorns want to do all kinds of things for you. And also Cindy's doing number 2. That's awesome. And also Mother Mary's there for love. So no matter what, if you feel like you're alone or you feel like you've left out, a lot of times Mother Mary visits a lot of people who have not had really good childhood backgrounds, where there's not a lot of love to go around in the family. And so she will step in and she will give you that love so you can start radiating that love inside. So that is a great card.
Yes, I like it.
All right, number 2 is the animals. Oh, I love it. See, 3 was calling to me, but either one of these cards, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, did I choose the wrong card?
I know, right?
What is that? What is that?
Okay, animals. Like humans, animals have come to Earth on their own soul journey. Originating from many planets and universes, some animals are here to learn, while others are here solely to teach or enlighten us. Because they are heart-centered, animals on this planet are designed to have experiences that are different from ours. The way in which we treat animals profoundly affects their ascension path, as well as our own. Oh, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Your guidance today is to call on Archangel Phael. Yeah, I can never pronounce them. Angel of Animals. It's Phelyi.
Bailey?
Maybe. So he's the angels of animals to look after them, Archangel Michael to protect them, and the unicorns to enlighten them. So, and it's so sad because, especially now when we're in the holidays, they're really playing up the commercials to help out the animals, and you always see the worst ones. And it's like, oh my gosh, my heart just beats. And we always rescue animals, so we treat our animals with the utmost respect. So they get treated
Agreed.
better than we do in our house. So your affirmation is, I honor and respect all animals. So that's card number 2. So all the 2 animal lovers, and you know, with Cindy, she has a big old cat.
Mm-hmm.
And her cat likes to go outside and eat grass and come in and it gets bellyache, and so he'll eat stuff. And he's got a particular kind of cry that he does that she knows when he doesn't feel good, when he's going to be sick. And so she, pats his belly, and she does all those things to help him. And she'll put out a paper towel, and he knows to throw up on the paper towel.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
That is good teamwork.
That's awesome.
That's
So
really great.
Cindy, you're awesome. That's number 2. Oh
Use
my
some
gosh.
of that kind of consulting, actually.
I know,
my
right?
animals are not that well trained. They are very sweet.
Oh my gosh, my animals are like ridiculous. Okay, so the Intergalactic Council, that is number 3. Oh my gosh. So Lynette did number 2. So she too is with the animals. So you got to really tune in, Lynette, with your animals. I love it. I think we're figuring this out now. I think this is fantastic. Okay. So the Intergalactic Council of 12 great masters makes decisions for the highest good of this universe. The council includes Marco, Hilarion, Jesus, Ashtar, Kuthumi, Elmora, Paul and Venetian, Saint Germain, Kuan Yin, Lady Nada, Serapis Bay, the Lord Maitreya. Saying or thinking their names raises your frequency. So that's pretty cool. So if you think of any of those names, it'll raise your frequency. Recognize you are a multi-level dimensional being Connect with your deepest wisdom and focus on the well-being of the universe. Your guidance is to ask Universal Angel Bootyal to take you to the Intergalactic Council in meditation or sleep and offer to serve the universe. This will greatly expand your consciousness. So your affirmation for today, and mine is, yours is, I visit the Intergalactic Council today. I love this. I love that card. I love getting that card because that tells me that I'm like right on track of where I'm supposed to be. Because then I'm raising my level. And every time I get this card, I break out like in a sweat. Like the energy I can feel is just coming off of me like crazy. And I feel like it's 100 degrees in here. I literally have sweat on me.
I don't see it though.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, I'm like, I feel like I'm having a hot flash. Every single time when I see that card, it's amazing. So that's the thing. I love these cards. The cards never lie. And it doesn't matter whatever it is that you're going through. Even if you purchase cards of your own, start getting acclimated and used to have cards. Did you get new ones yet?
I have not.
Oh my God, you should. So start to get the cards and then you just start to get your guidance because we all have angels. We all have spirit guides. We're not that smart by ourselves. We're all being divinely guided how to do everything. You know what I mean?
I believe that, yes.
Oh my God, for sure. For sure. All the brilliance that comes out on me on a daily basis is not just me all the time. I know it's a shock, but it comes from above and through my mouth.
I believe that we are divine. I think everybody has divineness in them. And to listen to that, to have a guide, to have an affirmation for it, brings it out. And I think it just brings it into consciousness then.
I totally agree.
So,
and one of the ways that I get my cards is when they're calling to me. So if I feel like I'm on a quest for higher cards, so as I am leveling up on my energy levels and becoming stronger spiritually, then I am looking for stronger cards. I'm looking for deeper connections. So like at night when I go to sleep, if I have an issue with someone, my husband, or it could be a friend, it could be an acquaintance, I will meet up with my higher self to meet up with their higher selves to get things resolved. And then it's all handled in the nighttime. You don't have to worry about it during the daytime. So it doesn't always work if you're married. I work on that all the time. We're going to have to work on that again today. But my husband, he is amazing. But yeah, so holy cow. So here we are, show number 3, Just Rita Real Talk, live. And I'm just so excited to be here and to have you here in my home and
I'm excited to be
doing
here.
the show. You know, one of the things, there's all different types of life coaches. And a deserve level coach is an amazing coach all on their own. You know, I do wonderful work, but yours also is that work where it's fine tuning, which takes you to a whole nother level in life. And so I'd love for you to share a little bit about what is deserve level coaching. Yeah.
I would love to. So I'll just go back a little bit to the beginning. So I was a client before I was a coach. So I hired my coach, Ed Bulkey, who created the Deserve Level Shift process. So essentially, he's a life coach and executive coach. He's been one for over 30 years or, you know, a long time. And he created his own technology. And I hired him because I wanted to lose some weight. That's really what I wanted to lose some weight. I wanted to feel better about myself. I wanted to have more confidence, and I felt really stuck in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I got through after talking to him one time, I'm like, this is going to work for me. It's all about, I remember he said it to me on the first call. You get in life what your unconscious mind believes you deserve.
It is so true, too.
And I remember the first time I heard it, it wasn't even necessarily the words that he said. It was how he said it. And I believed him. And I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing. I can trust him. I could feel it right away. And so I hired him. And I got results way beyond losing weight. I went through my first shift, I'll call it my first shift, in the area of health and wellness. And I always told myself, there's no way I could cut carbs out. There's no way I could work out every day. I'm a mom of triplets. I'm a full-time sales executive. There's no way I could carve out time, all this stuff. I'm just going to go through this process, and, he'll see. He'll have his work cut out for him.
Sure.
That's really what I was thinking. Like,
Isn't
I'll
that
give him
we
a
all
good
think?
challenge. Yeah, I'm like, we'll find out. I'm right in the end. And it worked. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It worked. It didn't just work. All of the sudden, things that bothered me in the business world, people that bothered me, they didn't bother me anymore. By changing what I believed I deserved, by addressing all of the decisions that I had made, even in just that one area of life, opened me up to a whole new level, or deserved level, a whole new level of being.
Right.
I was able to just be myself and not have to worry about all of the, quite frankly, all the crap I had decided that wasn't even true in the first place.
It's so funny because here's the thing about, deserve level. Like, we all live our lives a particular way. We do it all the time. We can go through the store, go grocery shopping, and we could look at this piece of fruit to this piece of fruit, and we'll say, you know what, that's too expensive. We'll put it back. We'll just get this one. Even though you're not satisfied with this one, you put the one that you really want away, because you really don't feel like you deserve to have the goodies in life.
Yeah.
And we do that in every area of our life.
Yeah, and now coaching people, one of the most difficult things right in the beginning is, hey, what do you want in your life? And people going, well, I'd really like to be a millionaire, but that's not possible. And I'd really like to do this, but that's not possible. And I don't even have the time to do that, so that's not possible. I'm like, that's not what I asked.
You know what's so funny, though? I'm going to interrupt you there, though, because that's what people say all the time. It's not possible. Well, you're right.
Yeah.
If you say it's not possible, you're absolutely right. It's not possible for you. So that must be true for you. And you're probably right.
Right. And so if you go, I mean, even if you think about, I mean, as a mom, I go through this a lot, and I'm talking to my kids, we always, I mean, I'm always telling my kids, you could be anything you want. What do you want to be? If somebody else is out there in the world, what actions did they take? What do you have to do? Let's figure this out. And I don't know that I would have been that mom before. I might have said, well, within reason, or maybe, but now it's not like that for me.
I believe that you would have gotten there either way, because the path that you have chosen and the road that you have chosen to go down, that is not by accident.
No, I am destined to do this work for sure.
I have always, before I even started doing this work, I have always made sure that my son knew he could have whatever it is that he wanted. It didn't matter if that kid came home and said, you know what, I'm going to get a Corvette. Good for you. I hope it's a pretty one and you really enjoy your Corvette. He wanted to move to California for the longest time when he was in high school. Oh my God, I was brokenhearted because I literally thought he was going to go to California, because that's how I had it for him. And this was how I've always treated him. It's like, you could have anything that you want. Because one of the things when I was watching that movie Joy yesterday was how many obstacles that I hit when I wanted to either be a teacher, a lawyer, something different, a stewardess, whatever. There was always a reason why that was not a good idea. Either it was making enough money, it was too much schoolwork and you can't handle that kind of schoolwork, or whatever the case may be. You're just a waitress in the air. It's like, oh my God, I love to travel. If I would have not listened to how I was brought up, obviously I wouldn't be here today and you guys wouldn't enjoy the show. But everything happens for a reason. But still, it's like you look back at things and you're like, oh my gosh, how many times was something put in my way and I just took it as if it was true, somebody else's truth. Where with my son, it was totally different, even though I didn't even do this work yet.
Yeah.
So I bet you dollars to donuts, you would have been the same thing with your
Well,
children.
it's funny. It's like I'm really clear that I was seeking it. Even before I found Ed,
Yeah.
I was clear that I felt so stuck in my life and so stuck in my career and all those things that I remember walking by a life coach door in downtown Libertyville, I believe it was, and then going, oh, maybe that would help. You know, I do remember having those thoughts, but I'm really clear that, you know, the universe, fate, whatever you want to call it, had me connect with Ed because that process got me there that much faster.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's like, okay, you really, really want something in your life. And the only time we have, at least I know the only time we had, and I love people to argue with me because I can't argue with it, is now.
Right.
You can't do anything other than right now. And
Right.
so if you wait and you wait and you wait, it just takes longer, that's all.
Right.
So by contacting Ed and by going through the process, by addressing all the limitations and all of the decisions I had made that weren't helping me get to where I wanted to go,
Right.
it just made me a lot freer to move forward and attain my goals. It gave me access to a whole new series of actions that, yes, I believe I would have figured them out on my own. I was seeking it. But I'm talking that this happened in 8 weeks. You know?
I know.
I mean, it
But
happened
you know
in 8
what,
weeks.
though? And
So
here's the
like,
thing. You could either go kicking and screaming.
right.
And you can take forever. You can take
Mhm.
years. There are people who go to counselors and psychiatrists and they go for years.
Exactly.
Or you can choose to shift it and change it, get the tools that you need, and move on.
Mhm.
It literally is your choice.
Mhm.
So if you can do it in 8 weeks and you are taken to the ground and running, more power to you. If you're taking, 3 months or longer, then again, more power to you. It's where you're at, but how quickly? How long do you want to suffer?
Exactly. How long do you want to resist being something that, or believing you're something that you really aren't? And then it creates this resistance and this ugliness within yourself that is really the obstacle then. It's like, that's really the obstacle. I mean, it's not like, especially in the area of health and wellness, it's not like I didn't know what to eat and what not to eat.
Like we all know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's what we choose.
Right. I'm like, I knew that it probably wasn't a good idea to eat those nachos at 12 o'clock at night, but I did it anyway.
Yeah.
And so there was, and I remember before I would eat the nachos, there was always this like pull, like it felt like it was just pulling me to the refrigerator, and like something even outside myself was doing this. And
oh my God, I used to dream of cake and frosting.
Heck?
Like literally, I would dream of cake and frosting.
Yeah.
Like people were covered in frosting. That's the pull that I had towards frosting. And now that I've been off of sugar for the most part, it really isn't that good anymore. Like I've even tried getting back on cupcakes, and they're not as enjoyable as they used to be. Not at all.
And I love that saying, you get in life what you focus on.
Yeah.
So if you're focused on nachos, that's why it felt like it was pulling.
Right? You're going to get nachos.
Like I was experiencing eating the nachos instead of experiencing how awesome it was the next day when I get on the scale. I'm like, I'm down a pound.
Yeah.
You know, when I was able to shift my focus to a healthy lifestyle and stop allowing all that other stuff to come in, it freed me up to do a bunch of stuff.
That's one of the things I have to focus on is I have to get back on my wagon, because with the Halloween and the celebration, I just really love Witch's Brew. We had that last week. My Witch's Brew wine.
Good.
I love red wine. But yeah, it's like stuff like that. And I've suffered. Like I've incorporated food back into my diet that does not agree with me at all. And I would be literally sick for a few days. And it's like, holy cow, my body really doesn't like it. And why do I keep doing it to myself? Because I feel the need to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the deserve level. So my deserve level is here when it should be up here. If I chose not to suffer anymore, it would be like, we're done. We're good. We're good.
or I need to suffer could be a decision, but I know for me in the area of, especially when you're talking witch's brew and red wine and
Oh my God.
avoiding that's probably been
They're like,
for me where the most resistance has come in, because I have a decision that I've made that I'm not fun without it. Where I can't have fun. Not that I'm not fun.
Yeah.
I can't have fun without it. So when I focus on, if I have this wine, I'm going to have fun, then it's that resistance starts coming in, and I really, really want it, and I really, really want it. But
I just really, really want it. Like, I really enjoy it. I love sipping on wine.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're with your girlfriends.
Oh yeah,
Yapping it up. But there's been times where I'll have a glass of red wine in front of me, and I'll have friends over, and we're yapping it up, and I don't drink it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it was totally different. It was fine. I was fun. I'm fun regardless. I totally know that.
Yeah, you are fun.
You know,
me
but,
too. And now I do know that, because that's
yeah.
That's a decision I have to trust. But one of the things that I was really clear on is that how much it was impacting my biggest goal, which was more important to me, which was getting to I want to get to my goal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready. And when you're taking an interruption, it's almost like a conscious decision that it's okay to go slower.
Or backwards.
Right. And
I've gone backwards a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I've gone backwards a little bit.
And then it's like, okay, well, that wine was great. And now that if I allow it, that negativity can slip in.
Yeah.
And then that slows you down even more. So it's almost like you have to, allow yourself to, you decide this shall be, I'm going to follow my program. I'm not going to have this.
Yeah.
And then if it does happen, and you can't decide that if it does happen, which is hard in and of itself, then you can't let it slow you down and feel all kinds of bad crap about yourself.
Yeah.
Then it slows you down twice as much. And then it gives that momentum.
Yeah. I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole thing around deserve level is amazing. Even around like different situations, deserve level, when you have people who are in situations or networking groups and you perceive somebody as having a lot of money and they're talking about expensive cars and this and that and all this money, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I fit in this group.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. It's where your deserve level is at.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy cow. But then when you can learn how to shift and change it pretty quick.
Oh yeah, you can laugh at yourself when you have those thoughts, when you can identify that they're occurring at that time.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful. It's like, and do they really have those cars? And why would they say they did unless they wanted to feel better about themselves?
And exactly. And that's a lot of times where, because I kind of fell into that. I found a new networking group. And I'm looking around and I'm watching everybody, and I was just like, everybody's like just talking about big bucks, big bucks, big bucks. And here I am like, oh my gosh, because I'm not a big buck talker.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even if I did have money, and when I do have money, it's not like a conversation that I sit and I talk about. And I'm very happy with my vehicle that I drive, which is the 2000 with the roof coming down that looks like a quilt. Do you know what I mean?
Gets you from place to place.
It doesn't bother me. I don't have a car payment, and the car still runs beautifully. My son's going to help me fix the roof. So it's like, okay, so what do I care? But it's so funny how sometimes when you're uncomfortable or you catch yourself in that mode where the deserve level goes down, and you find you're like, well, maybe I don't fit in. Maybe I don't belong. But that's really not the case.
Yeah, it's not. And it's like a decision that's made in that moment. And if you let it have the momentum, it can start your mind twirling down that path.
Yes.
Like,
it's
I
so
don't
true.
have a car, or I do have a car, but I have a minivan. I have triplets, so.
Yeah. Well, I do too. I have a minivan. Everybody makes fun of me. They're like, Rita, you're 48 years old. You don't have small children. Why are you driving a minivan? I'm like, it's a beautiful car.
I know. I have it's a very high deserve level car for me. It has automatic door openers and the kids can get in. Anyway, but it's interesting because your mind can start going down that path. Like, somehow I believe I'm less than this group of women that I'm with.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is most of the time, the reason why somebody might start mentioning their car or mentioning something that they have that you don't have is because they're feeling less than.
Yes, that is so true. I've coached many people around that situation many times, and we always follow into it.
Yeah.
Like, there's things that's one of the things that I love about being a coach is that you still fall into the stuff, and it's how fast you get yourself out, and that's what you can share with people and teach people how to do. That's the stuff that I love.
Yeah, you can practice getting yourself out.
Oh my God,
you
for
get
sure.
Faster and faster and faster.
I do a lot of practicing.
Me too.
Lots of practicing.
Me too. I mean, we had here I am. I just launched. I just decided. I'm starting my vlog. I'm going to start my vlog, and I started it.
I cannot wait till we do it. That's what we were supposed to launch today. Was her vlog, her video blogging.
And I got in my own way.
She got in her own way.
I did.
I gave her homework and she failed to do it.
I did. And I could sit here and I could go, oh, well, and there's tons of things that went into my mind about that. It's so funny.
And here's the funny thing, right? You can take this as a video. It could be a vlog.
It could be a vlog. And I'm okay. Like, I'm still breathing. Like,
you're not dead.
Yeah. And
nothing came through.
And I did two videos, and it's so funny because I watched them, and I did post them on YouTube. And I thought about taking them down, and then I thought, well, it's not authentic if I take them down, even though it's not the message that I would necessarily want people to have, but it is an authentic message because in those moments, I thought it was really, really hard to get to my goal weight. I had made a decision. And even when I'm aware of decisions and how they impact, I still had the decision. It's really, really tough. There's going to be a lot of struggle. There's going to be a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
And that was not what I want. I want people to be empowered about weight loss and all those things. But those first two videos, it's all about the struggle. It is.
But you know what? Here's the thing,
true.
too.
There is, that's why people stop these things, is because they create a struggle.
You're sharing your struggle. This is what I love about what we do. And this is why doing the video, if I don't have the radio station anymore, at least I have this here, this outlet, where people can see, because everybody else is out there struggling over the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who's being open and honest about it. I will talk to somebody and connect with somebody on a very deeper level when I can relate to somebody who's being open and honest. If you're telling me, look, I struggle, and I could be like, oh my God, I thought of you like way up here on the pedestal where I put you, and now you're climbing down to a normal human being, because I tend to do that a lot. I put people way up here until they finally climb down, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I find it relatable. And then you can connect and you can understand and relate. And then when you realize that other people are going through the situation that you're going through, you don't have to worry. You actually then get to participate. It also takes like the pressure off. So, a few years back when everybody was having a hard time, a lot of people were losing their houses. A lot of people were losing jobs. Everybody's financial situation was going crazy. And ours too, that without saying, ours did too. And my husband has always been the type of person who has a hard time dealing with change. And I said, look at all the people all over who are down on hard times, who are literally losing their houses. And we're stealing from Peter to pay Paul, and we still have our house, and we're still here. And when he realized that he was in the same boat as many other people, not that we have to play there forever, but that we get to really understand and realize that if we can all just be open and honest with each other, then maybe there wouldn't be all this competition. We can be like, oh my God, that's so true. And then you start to shift and change, and it's not a concern really anymore. Like finances or money is less of a concern than it was prior to. Because I know that's how it is with my husband and I.
Decision. I mean, even just what really amazed me going through the process, and these things, all the things that I learned, they're like layers of an onion. I mean, they get deeper and deeper and deeper rooted because I seek to create habits that are in line with these
Right.
distinctions that we learn in the
Right.
process. So when I think of even when I think of like resistance, you know, how I resisted, and then I think of the decision that I made to resist, and then I gave that power and I gave that momentum.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wow, right now I can make a conscious decision right now, just that fast, that I don't have resistance to this, and I just do what I know to do. And I go like this because I actually do have an itemized list of what it takes to lose 1 pound a day. It's 1 pound a day. I've got it all figured out. I know exactly how to do it.
Wow.
And then I check off. Okay, did I do this? Yes, I did this. I did this. I did this. I did this. I didn't do this. I can't blame anybody the next day when the scale didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Right.
And it takes the struggle out for me because I just do what I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
And you just keep putting that in your mind of it's not bad, it's not wrong. It's just I didn't put a check mark there.
Right.
And so since I didn't put a check mark there, well, you know,
That's where
you got what
we
you
went wrong.
got.
That's where we went
Like
wrong.
my kid-
We went off the rails
Yeah,
there.
my kid's kindergarten teacher always used to say, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
You know what? And it's so true because even as adults, it's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Just because we're adults, it does not mean that we got it all figured out. And it does not
Mhm.
mean that we're mature. It does not mean that we've got all the answers. It's just that we are taller, bigger, whatever you want to
Mhm.
say it is. So, like, we're still learning. You know, when I'm 48 years old, so I look at my life and I'm like, oh my God, I've got so much more to learn.
Isn't that great though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny that some people will say, I'm not credible. I hear that a lot. I'm not credible enough. And who really is?
No one.
I
No
mean,
one.
everybody's learning, and if you want to enjoy your life and you want to bring joy and happiness in as much as possible, it helps to make it exciting.
Yeah.
And learning something new
Right.
can impact that, you know?
Right. And that's the other thing is everybody thinks everything's supposed to look a specific way.
Mhm.
Because Joey down the street did it this way and it was successful, then this is the only way to do it. That's not true. You can do it any way you want. It's up to you, however it works for you. So I was used to going into the station, you know, doing my 1.5 hour drive, putting on the headphones, doing the sound check, and off to the races we go. I went in there and did my show. I didn't need to know the technicalities. I didn't need to know all the other stuff.
Press a button.
I just went in there and did it. And so when you don't have that anymore, then you were like, oh my gosh, I am the producer. I'm the prop guy. I'm the sound check guy. I'm the visual aid guy. I'm the guy by myself. And the talent.
And the talent.
And the talent.
And you never have to be late to press the button. And
No.
you never have to, at least you get it all.
Yeah, and I only have myself. So like when something's not going right, I can't get mad at anyone. The finger always has to come here because I'm the guy.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh my gosh, we're doing the best that we can. So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And that's it. How it goes. And I have to say, today is running way smoother than it has the last couple of weeks for sure. So we are starting to learn.
You raised
Yes.
your deserve level. That's really what it is.
We're getting it all figured out. Now my husband's going back to work, so we're using his phone.
Yes.
So I've got to figure out how to get my music going. So, but either way, that's the whole thing. It's like how everything works out.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is amazing.
Yeah, and when you've made a decision, it's so funny. It's like I struggled my whole life with my weight. You know, I struggled my whole life with my weight. I went up, I went down. I used to have a joke. I've lost 365 pounds this year. It was the same pound over and over and over and over and over again. And then I laugh about it and be like, ha, is that funny? I never got the result I wanted.
Right.
Ha, 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 ha.
Right.
And it killed me inside. It really did. And it's not about weight. It wasn't about how I looked anymore.
It's not about the weight. It really is about how you feel.
Right. I didn't feel powerful because over and over and over again in this area, I would say, I'm going to do X, and I did Z.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the normal way, but whatever.
It
but
doesn't
I did
matter.
one thing.
It's
I
perfect.
said I was
However
going to
you
do
want
this,
to do it.
but I did this.
Yeah.
And then I had no power to even believe my own word to myself. It's like my word to myself was doo-doo.
Well, yeah, because you learn you learn how to lie.
Yeah.
You learn how to hide from your own self. So you know it's like right there, and you hide from yourself.
Yes.
I mean, I'm guilty of it all the time. I still do it. I would lie and tell you if I didn't. I would be like, oh no, I got it all handled. I got to figure it out. All I have to do is this, and this, and this. And then, now that the time has changed, you know what I love about the time change? It's dark outside. Nobody can see it.
Yes.
It's dark outside. I feel like now that winter's here, it's almost like in my head, it shutters. Like all the shutters have come in. So I hide from myself inside of the time change. And I look forward to the time change so much. And I'm literally sharing that with you for the very first time to everyone on the show right now. But that's the honest God's truth what I do.
Wow.
It is.
I kind of do the opposite, honestly. I go, winter's coming. And it was only, this wasn't me like my whole life, but with the kids, with the triplets, when winter comes, we've been, in my mind, right, stuck inside. So this year, we'll have to make a conscious effort to get outside and enjoy wherever it is that we're at.
Oh, I love playing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about I'm just talking about the stuff that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. Right. Now, I'll go outside and play because that's fun. But I'm talking about the things, my goals, the things that I set up for myself. That's how I hide. Yes. See, in the summertime and in the springtime, you're forced to be outside. Your windows are open. Your house is open. You're letting everybody in and out. All that comes through. But when the time changes, the winter comes, you tend to close down those windows, close everything out. Nobody comes around because everybody's in their house. That's what I'm talking about. It's like you set these goals and nobody knows what you're doing inside of your house. You might know, but you're hiding even from yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's what I do. And I know it's to be true because I got teary-eyed just a little bit ago. So I know that's to be true. Those are the things. And I realized that yesterday. I was like, gosh darn it, I do it. And that's what I do. And it's like now this winter is going to be so different because if I choose to stay that way, then those are out loud choices.
Yeah, because now you've brought it into reality that you have the decision of.
And I totally told on myself.
And that's great.
Just Rita Real Talk isn't perfect.
No, but it's almost like I like to hide, right?
It's true.
I like to hide. So if you like to hide, it makes sense that the time changes and it's like, ooh, I can start hiding. Yes. And it's okay because people expect me to hide. I'm not going to hurt anybody else. I'm not going to bother anybody else by hiding.
But that's so true. And this is what our conversation was about today.
Yeah.
Hiding. And even still, even with things that I shouldn't be eating, I've already got now the sweatpants on and the oversized sweatshirts. So I don't physically have to see it. Even though I feel it, I don't have to physically see it.
Yeah.
But the uncomfortableness is there. So I'm kind of tricking myself, but not really.
And it's only a habit. That's what I really love about, really deserve all these decisions when you pull them out into daylight. I'll never forget Ed saying this. You pull them out in the daylight and you look at it. I like to hide. Now we look at it. And you could say maybe that's a tendency of yours in the winter.
Yeah.
But do you really like to hide? You could find lots of examples of yourself where you're not putting on sweatpants and you're not covering things up. But our pattern of behavior is that in the wintertime, once it gets to this, once the time changes, now that's what we focus on doing.
Right.
Is hiding.
It's crazy.
The reason why it doesn't have to have the power is because now you could start to put on a pair of sweatpants tonight and go, ha!
I got it.
Am I afraid to hide? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of nothing. I am Rita.
Exactly.
I have my own show. I'm not afraid to hide.
Well, that's the thing. And it's like, am I, your question, am I really hiding? Am I afraid to hide? But I could have easily taken the show and off the radio, and it would have been done on that Sunday.
Yeah.
Come Monday, you guys would have never heard of Just Rita Real Talk again. I could have easily done that.
Most people would have done that. I don't want to be pessimistic or anything, but when you look at the world, think about all that it would take. It's changing from one medium, so radio, nobody can see you.
Right.
And then you go, okay, I'm just going to turn on a camera and I'm going to start my new show. No, most people aren't going to do that. And
which means I got to clean my office and I've got to get it organized. And honestly, it takes a lot of work because for me to get this handle, because I wanted it with the table where the table is here. And then, we've got like the backdrop and, where it's homey and, wait till Christmas comes and right after Thanksgiving, it will be decked out in Christmas. But these are the things where you're just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
And I could have been like, well, it didn't work. Another thing shot to hell. Another thing didn't work for me. I'm never going to get it. I'm always going to be where I'm at.
I lost all this time.
I know.
My radio show. I didn't learn anything because the same thing that always happens.
Exactly. And I had just gotten a new business card.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting a new one. But stuff like that, it's like, there it is. It's all that stuff. And it makes it real because here's the other thing too. Being a coach, now you're a deserve level coach. I'm a life coach. But what kind of a coach would I be if I told somebody, hey, wake up. You've got all these opportunities here, here, and here. What are you doing? And I am not doing any of this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
just
exactly
let the show go because one hiccup, and then that's all I did. I could not live with myself, nor would I be able to coach anyone because then my coaching career would be done. Because if I am not walking the walk, I cannot coach anyone.
Right.
But if I walk the walk, then I'm coaching you for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think as a coach, it isn't always, and I'm sure there's like a million different opinions about this. But to me, if you're a coach and you're seeking it and you're taking the action and you're, for me, do you have any idea how many lists I've had? And I've been seeking my goal weight. I'm going to get to my goal weight.
Yeah.
I'm going to get there. I'm not quitting.
Yeah.
And as long as you seek it and I take it very seriously and I know the power that it'll bring me the day that I get there. I also know how much more powerful I will be when I get there.
Yes.
So
well, it's so true because you're literally
I will be a better
walk.
coach. The day I'm a great coach right now, I will be that much better when I get there.
Yeah. Oh my God, for sure.
So,
but you really are fantastic. I just want you to say.
Thank you.
I have literally had the pleasure of meeting for coffee because Kristin, we've had Ed on the show, the radio show, a few times, and you've always been there. I think he was on 4 times. I just don't know how to figure out those logistics yet, but in time. But still, you were always there in the background, and just to be able to have you here to connect with you, to talk to you, and then of course you and Ed put on the deserve level intensive course, which I was invited to, which was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So that's when I really got to know Kristin, and then shortly after that, we had each other at hello. So
hey, we didn't really get to talk that much. Maybe we should.
No, and we did, and now that we do, and it's just so much fun because we're just sharing each other, coaching each other, and letting us see different perspectives in our lives.
See, and I love to tell people, I know the process works. And so whenever I have an opportunity to hear Ed coach, to learn, I'm all about learning. I don't really even care who it is.
Right.
you know, it's like I am so fascinated with how the mind works now and how I can hear. I almost feel like I do feel like I feel like I have superpowers at times because it's like I can hear things now.
Yes.
And I can just evolve myself that much more every time. And I was not like that before.
It's amazing.
I would have been threatened if I were to tell somebody, yeah, I kind of follow the guy around because I want to learn. I wouldn't want people to know, not before.
It is. It's amazing when you're with somebody and you can hear where they're at.
Yeah.
And you can hear where they've made decisions in their life where they don't even know where they've made a decision, where their life is going in a particular direction. That to me is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of clients that I'm working with right now where around confidence and then just around decision making. And when you hear and see things, it brings you back to a different time in their life where they're like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought that.
Yeah, those inception events.
Yeah.
When we first created the decision, I have a decision that's pretty deeply rooted. I'm a bad girl, and it sounds silly but it was created when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I ate a penny. Okay. I don't know if I want to tell the story.
It's so funny because I've eaten pennies and ball bearings when I was little. So,
but I remember looking at this penny like, I'm gonna eat it. I'm eating the penny, and I ate it. And then I remember telling my mom, "Hey, Mom, I ate a penny." And then my mom going, "Bad girl." I mean, there was nothing wrong with my mom. She just said that, and then of course she had to find the penny, and we'll just leave it at that.
Everybody knows where.
Yeah.
A lot of people have animals where they have to find things.
Yeah. Because if you don't find it, then they have to go in and, do surgery, and it's bad. So my mom found the penny, but every time my mom was looking for the penny over that course of 3 or 4 days, bad girl, bad girl.
My God, it's disgusting, you little bad girl. Well, yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Those are decisions that we make.
Right, and what does a bad girl do? They always prove themselves. At least this bad girl always wanted to prove that she was really good, that she wasn't a bad girl.
Yeah.
So I would hide from that.
Yeah.
I would hide from that truth that at some level, that's what I believed about myself. It was a very deep level. It's not like I walked around and, said that.
No.
But in my mind, if I did something that I perceived to be really, not good or I hurt somebody else or I hurt myself, it was bad girl. It's just that voice.
Yeah.
It's just my ego.
Oh my
God. I remember
gosh.
recalling that.
I know. It's crazy how all that stuff happens, but that's what happens. I always thought myself as, and the word has completely escaped me, where you're like a hindrance to somebody. What is it? When you're a kid.
I was going to say PIA.
Not a pain in the ass. I probably was a pain in the ass.
I had that one.
But you're a burden. That was mine, that I was a burden. And so I made that decision when I was very, very young. Mm-hmm. So everything about me was always a burden. And that even took me all the way into my adulthood, being a burden. So a lot of, I've created and I have a lot of evidence that I have always been a burden. Mm-hmm. So once you knock all that out and you realize I was a gift from God.
Yeah.
And you should know that about me.
Yes, I do.
But you know what I mean? And that's how it should be. But that's where it's at. So stuff like that, it's like you make these decisions from way back when, and that's what happens.
They're just real to us. It's
for sure.
It's like having, Ed would call it an operating system. That always really resonated with me because I actually used to sell technology. So, it's like your operating system. You have this operating system, and all of these decisions that you made are in your OS. Well, it's not like you know what your code is.
It's almost like garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
So we take the garbage in as if it's the truth because we don't know what it's supposed to be. Something happens and we make something up about it. Like
make up that perception of whatever it is.
We take on that perspective of perception, and then that's what we live by. Not realizing that that's not the truth at all. that it was something completely different.
Yeah, it was a perception made in one context. And
Exactly.
now somehow I don't want to get too deep, but somehow every context then that we experience, we can relate to that decision. And then that's when it can start to limit us if it's something that we don't need anymore.
Oh my God, for sure. There's so many of us who do it. All right, so guess what time it is?
I don't even know.
Oh my gosh, it is. Oh my gosh. I hate it when this thing turns off. It turns itself off. It shouldn't do that.
It's probably some kind of a sleep.
All right, you guys. So it is the professional shout out hour. So this is with Haley Salufo. She is with Keller Williams Realty Signature. Her number is 815-382-5349. Her email is hsciluffo@kw.com. Her website is www.kwrockford.com. She is a real estate agent, so she's with kwrockford.com. Haley, oh my God, this girl, I love her. She is an amazing woman who will do what it takes to allow her clients to live their dreams. She has moved mountains to be the best role model for her children, and she will move mountains to help you sell your home or buy the home of your dreams. Haley is in Illinois, so her focus is in McHenry County, Kane County, Cook County, and Lake County. She will turn your wants into two halves, buying or selling. It takes a village to live your dreams, so let Haley do that for you. Haley Salufo, Keller Williams Realty Signature. Her number is 815-382-5349. Her email again is hsciluffo@kw.com. And her website, one more time, is www.kwrockford.com. And again, she is a fantastic real estate agent. She really is awesome. I love her. She really is a sweet person. She's her kids are amazing. We used to work together a long time ago, and the relationship that we have now is just amazing. So she is someone who is a very open, carefree. She's very loving, giving to everybody around her. So she would make sure that you got everything that you ever wanted in your home. So make sure you guys contact Haley Salufo. And her number again is 815-382-5349. All right. Don't you just love this music?
I do.
Oh my God. I love it. I love my music.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh my gosh. So we got the professional shout out of the hour. So you got to love it. That's what I love to do. Share everybody so everybody can hear what's going on.
And a realtor, I mean, that's a big deal buying a new house. It's nice to have one that you can get a recommendation for, is going to be authentic and working for you.
And she always works on the principle of how she wants to look to her children. Mm-hmm. So she is not somebody who is just trying to make a buck. Mm-hmm. Obviously, she's got bills to pay like we all do. But she wants her children to look up to her and be proud of her. And they really do. They're amazing kids. They're little ones. So they're just awesome. That's awesome. It's amazing because I have my baby is like this big. He's like 6'3", 6'4", and he'll be 25 next month, December 6th. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's like, I just want to squeeze everybody's kid because I just remember Frankie at that age.
Yeah.
And I just like, oh God, I wish I still had it. But the adult time is awesome too because it is really a sheer joy to have him around all the time. I love the conversations that we have.
It's so fun for me to take the triplets out one at a time now too, and really delve into who they are, each one in themselves, without them combating for time. Right now at 9, it's all about fighting. So they've done a lot of fighting right now.
Well, because they're sharing the same space and they're sharing like the same everything. Everything's like in threes. It's like,
and they all want to play the same game. They all want to watch different things.
They're individuals.
So it's great though. I mean, it's great. I mean, I remember fighting with my brothers, and And
oh my gosh. My sisters and I, we would have literally knockdown dragouts.
Mm-hmm.
It would, and we're not just talking about slapping or a little pull hair. We're talking about literally animals fighting. And it's so true. We did. And it was terrible. And it was like, my parents were like, we don't know what to do with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But we did because we were so close in age. Everybody wants their own individuality. And we were in the same bedroom. Everything was the same.
Mm. Yeah. And they shared the same womb, my kids. So I guess.
Oh my gosh. And I love to be different all the time. I do not want to be like everybody else.
And the same birthday, everything.
I know, it's crazy. Oh my gosh. So now you also have on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
the Deserve Level movement.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
So the Deserve Level movement, you know, we wanted to. We have a company, you know, that's actually forming. So the Deserve Level movement is a product of that. So it's to get people more aware and raise them up. So many people are so focused around things that are bringing them down all the time. You know, you're always looking for that evidence to support your right. And then if you have limiting decisions that are in that area, it's like you keep spinning in the downward spiral way.
Right.
So we wanted to create just a free online resource for people to not only see what we were doing from, you know, into, you know, as the Deserve Level of the company, but also to give people a place that they can go and get some pick-me-up. So I moderate that group. So it's really important to just, to me, to be empowering there.
Yeah.
You know, share stories that are empowering. We encourage people to post. We want, you know, people to just share things that elevate them. So that's the intention of the group.
See,
and it's growing. It's growing.
I love that. I'm a member of that group.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of people hate Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I love it. Because I don't have drama on Facebook. All my stuff is all happy-go-lucky. I always have good inspiration on my Facebook. I never have my day sucked again today on my Facebook, or Johnny spit on my shoes and then my dog died, and you know,
yeah, I don't.
Then my bird got ran over by a truck. Like, I never have that stuff on my Facebook. What also is amazing is that doesn't matter what I'm going through, I have that particular inspiration that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to look for it. If I've got something going on in my life, all of a sudden, boom, there it is. It's all right there.
Yeah.
And so it helps me to shift my mindset. Now, if there's something there for husbands fighting with husbands, we need more of that. But, and it's so funny too, the other day, because I said to my husband, I'm like, you know, if our relationship is going to change, I have got to be the one to be the change in our relationship. And then, of course, then it's like,
you become a victim then.
You're like, oh my God, how am I going to be the change in this relationship?
Yeah.
Because it gets to be a lot.
Well, see, and I can really relate to that, because that's been to me, what happens for me is I'll be like, I've got to be the one to do this. I've got to be the one. Yeah. And then it's like I almost have this imaginary scorecard. I've already done this, and I've already done that, and now I have to do this too. And I become this like victim. Yeah. And then that's what I focus on, right? If you get what you focus on, and you're focused on that you're the victim and that you're the one that's always doing everything, check, then, and it's really real to you, and when it's been very real to me at times. Yeah. You know, it's not true, but it's been very real to me.
Like, how much can I let go before I blow?
Right.
And it really doesn't take much at all for me at all.
Yeah,
like today.
You're focused on, when am I going to blow again? I know I'm going to blow again. Oh, there it goes. Whereas
I've got something, again, very important. Mm-hmm. And then life happens. And the funny thing is, too, I already know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I already know that I'm going to have to go help my husband take the car to the mechanic. I already know. I already had an idea that I wanted to go run to the store really fast to see if I could find something that has Thanksgiving, which we've skipped over Thanksgiving. Like I already knew those things, but
Mhm.
yet I'm still being an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Because
mean?
you're preparing for what you already are expecting to occur, and by even just expecting it, we
Yeah,
keep bringing the same thing and the same patterns in our relationship
it's crazy.
into our reality.
Yeah,
And
because
so it's
this,
interrupt that cycle. How do
yeah,
you interrupt that cycle?
it means go to different corners.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even talk to each other. You just say nice things to each other, and that's it. That's it.
You know, I'll just say he's coached me at times around this because this has been very real for me. And I read it on the internet in one of those memes, and it was, you get love with love. So if you really, really want love in your life, and all you're doing is becoming the score-keeping battle axe, in my case, at
Right.
times, you know, I'm like, I can't believe he's doing it again. It's like I'm so focused on that I'm forgetting about all the good times that we had. I'm forgetting about how great he is with the kids, and how he cares deeply about me, and how we love each other. And then you start going, oh yeah, that's why.
It's so funny that you would say that, because yesterday we went through the timeline of when we met to how we got married, when we, all of it. And it's like, oh my God. So we dated for 2 years before we got married. And it's like we were remembering stuff. And he's like, no, it didn't start then. I'm like, oh my God, Mike, how you don't even remember what you did last week. How can you possibly remember what you did 2 years ago? Or, well, now in this case, almost 15 years ago. And so we went through the timelines, and I was like, oh my God, those were really good times.
Yeah.
And you get that, like, oh my God, I do like you. All right then.
Yeah.
And then we get up today, and it's like, freezing in the house, windows are open, because he loves windows open. And I'm just like,
right. Instead of going, oh yeah, I married this man who loves to have the windows open. And
oh
it's
my
nice.
gosh.
I mean, we just flip the context, and we focus so much on the things that we don't like.
Yeah.
That's what we keep bringing in.
That's true. And that, you know what? You are absolutely true. So when this show is all said and done, I will have to apologize yet again. And he'll be like, you're welcome. Or thank you very much.
He was very nice to me when I showed up.
He is a really guy. He is. He's nice to everybody else.
He was very nice to me.
No, he really is a great guy.
But I think too, I mean, our relationships, especially with our husbands, it's like with the kids, you always want to empower your kids, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to empower my kids. They're a product of me. They're, and so when you really focus on that, then it's like, what's left for him? I'm always focused on this, and giving all this good stuff to them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my husband, it's like kind of got to be a bit of my blind spot. Like, it's almost like you start to take that relationship
for granted.
Yeah. And I'm talking about myself. I mean, I was starting to take that for granted, that, he doesn't need that niceness anymore.
Oh my gosh.
They do need the niceness. They just
But we need it as well.
We all need it.
We
and
all
if
need
we
it.
want it, then we need to show it.
Yes.
It's hard to get niceness when you're being not nice.
That is so true. And it could be possible that I could be a little bit nicer.
Well, I put a structure in place to be nice to my husband. Not that I want to invent the structure right now, but I do. But now it's natural.
Yeah. Well, you have to. And so one of the biggest things is when we first got together, he adopted my son. And so I wanted him to be built up. I wanted my son to be built up. And so I built these two people up, and they think that they now walk on water, and then here I am. And it's like, when you've created awesomeness, you have to be responsible for the end result.
Yeah. And instead of thinking that you have to bring him back down,
and I would never do
bring
that.
Yourself back up.
Exactly.
That's all
exactly.
it is to do.
It's like, all right, I'm not even gonna, fall into this little trap. I'm just gonna keep on walking. That's my thing, is I take the bait.
Yeah.
It's so easy to take the bait.
We're human. I mean, we all do. I mean,
Yeah.
there's things that, I can't say that I walk around always showing my husband love. I think it was just this morning when, that wasn't the case.
You're like, get out of my way.
Yeah,
I got
so
somewhere to be.
I just know that my experience is that when I am very conscious about making sure that I'm treating him, gently or with respect, and I'm building him up, that's when he's showing me the same thing. Yeah. And
I agree.
You start to realize that over time, and we've been married for 16 years, my husband and I. So it's like, there's been a lot in those 6 years. We've had triplets. We've had 7 years of infertility. We've had,
there's a lot.
There's been a lot. We've had short sales on homes and, 5 different living arrangements, and all sorts of things. We've had jobs come and go, and it's like, it's hard not to.
That's the thing that I love about you. That's where it's like, because you're so open and you're so real and you're honest about where you come from, that's where all your talents shine with somebody else. Because somebody can totally relate to you in a way that, oh my gosh, she gets me. Without you even talking to this person, they already know that you got them because of how you're being with them. And I love that. For you to share that with everybody, I think that's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Because it is. It's a rare breed. I mean, I literally do. I'll put myself out there as well. And I do it many times. And it's scary sometimes because you want people to think of you as a particular way. You want people to see you of value. They want you to, like there's somebody that you want them to come to you, for whether it be to be coached or whatever. But when you start opening yourself up in a way where like, look, here it is. You cut it open, you put it all out there, and this is where I've got all the experience. People ask me all the time, why are you so different? How are you unique from somebody else? How am I not? I share all my stuff with people. I've gone through so much in my lifetime that I've got so many different experiences. I can help people see different perspectives all the time. And they always leave feeling better than when I've gotten them in the first place. And they're like, oh, that's cool.
It's funny. It's like at that intensive, I've always understood that at the root of our beings, we are all the same. Yeah, I do believe that. Like, we all have had different experiences and we've had different perceptions we've created based off the environments that we've lived in and the jobs that we've had and how hard we've perceived we had to work versus somebody else. We've all had those different experiences. But at the core of our being, I know, and I believe this, and I remember Ed saying this to me many times in the past, the day we were born, we were all perfect.
Yes.
The day we were born, we were all perfect. We're all perfect. And it's only the decisions that we've made and our perceptions of the world that have limited us if we've allowed it.
That's
if
true.
We've allowed it. There might be people watching this that are like, well, I'm great. There's nothing wrong with me.
And that may be true.
And there is nothing wrong with them.
No,
they're
not at all.
Everybody's perfect, really.
I really am perfect.
Yeah.
For me to get to where, people are like, humble much. And it's like, no, I really do. I'm really that good.
Yeah.
I'm perfect. And what makes me perfect is I will spill out all my imperfections. Yeah. That's what makes me perfect.
Yeah.
Because then people can sift through what they want to sift through and be like, can you help me here? And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah. And why not? If you can make up all these decisions that, aren't true, not you, but everybody, if you can make up decisions that aren't true about yourself, why not? I am perfect. Aren't you going to empower yourself more with that?
Yeah.
Nothing's going to slow you down. You're going to act. And that's the whole point. You want better performance in your life. You want things you don't have right now.
Yeah.
Don't slow yourself down by your thoughts.
It's also you have taken on your parents, your grandparents, your ancestors' belief system. So how many times were you taught not to be, that you should be humble, that you shouldn't, boast or brag?
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
She thinks she's all that,
right?
All those things,
So if you go out and you feel good about yourself that day, well, you must be bragging or boasting about something, or you're stuck up, or you think you're better than everybody else. But that's really not the case. You just feel good about yourself. But we've been taught to be a particular way, but it doesn't mean that we have to continue that pattern.
It doesn't mean and then when we're aware that we're making decisions
Right?
that
A
limit
whole nother
us.
language.
Decisions, listen. That's a distinction now.
Right?
But when we're aware that we're making decisions, I did it again. I focused on it. See, that's it. You get what you focus on. But when you know that you've made a decision that limits you, and you continue to go down that road,
those are your out loud decisions. You can't say anything about it. You can't complain about it. You can't blame anybody for it. It's your out loud conscious decision to continue to go down that path.
Yeah, it's like not voting and then complaining about who gets elected.
You know? I know.
You can't.
Somebody called me last night and they're from the Democratic Party and they're like, who are you voting for? I said, I don't know. When I finally get there and I vote, that's who I'm voting for. At this time, I have not got a clue. And even still, the way this election is going, I would be a complete idiot to let anybody know who the heck I was voting for. I know. am not saying a damn word. Not a damn word.
No, I won't either.
No,
I won't
God,
post about it. I won't post about it.
I don't even care. Like, I cannot wait until this is all over. Like, I'm sick and tired of seeing the nasty commercials. I'm sick and tired of seeing Facebook. I'm sick and tired of seeing all this propaganda with this election stuff. And it's gone way too far. It is, and it's not even just the presidential part. It's literally even the local stuff.
Oh yeah.
The local stuff has gotten crazy. And I just I can't handle it.
Yeah. And I'm really aware of the whole the energy that gets created, and you're right and I'm wrong. You know, just with anybody, you know, and you know, for whatever reason, it's like when it comes to politics, people have their deep rooted beliefs, and they're deep and they are rooted, and I'm not going to change somebody's mind, and they're not going to change my mind.
And why would you want to anyway?
Right.
Like, even like there was Donald Trump. There was this, I don't know where this was at. This must have been in California or something, where there's a star and somebody destroyed his star. Now, it's not that I'm near or there or for him or not for him. That's not the point. The point is, who gives you the right to destroy something because you have an opinion on something? This is the part that really bothers me, is because if somebody doesn't like something, we destroy it, we tear things down, we burn down cities. I'm
judge them.
Sick of it. Exactly. And the deserve level there,
very low.
Very low. It's very low. And that's the part that really drives me nuts. Or, you know, like the politicians who think they can decide what women should do with their bodies. I don't even know why this is still coming up.
Yeah, nobody's going to change it. I mean, in my personal opinion. And I feel like, and see, it's like, I would feel like nobody can make that call for anybody else.
No!
Right?
Why are we talking about it?
Exactly. And it's just something to deflect.
Exactly.
I guess in my life right now, I'm really clear what my purpose is. My purpose in this world is to be a coach, uplift people, get them to raise their deserve level, to get as fast results as, you know, the best results they can possibly get. That's my goal. I want to hit as many people as I can. I want to have workshops.
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins the presidential election. You're all going to need a little uplifting.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I'm going to go in my corner and I'm going to do the best job at that I can.
I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, I really can't even imagine who's going to win. I really can't. And it scares the hell out of me that this is what we have going on. It really does.
And we created it. I mean, you know, as a citizen, we created it. We created these choices for ourselves, right? We have to have, if we voted,
responsibility.
We have to have responsibility.
It's crazy.
So do we let it slow us down or not?
No.
It
doesn't affect us in any way. And that's the biggest thing, too. This is something else. one of the biggest things that I live by is, so say, somebody's talking about, I don't know, like with the presidential election or what's true
Mhm.
for them. And one of the biggest things that I find myself, because there's been a lot of conversations about political stuff lately,
Mhm.
and to be quite honest, for me, um, politics is a personal thing, and if you're amongst a group of friends drinking, then you shouldn't be talking about it.
Mhm.
I've had to stop a couple of conversations, but whatever somebody says, you don't have to take that truth on.
No.
So whatever that is may be true for somebody else, but it's not true for you. I say that all the time, so I never take on that energy or that truth.
Yeah, I mean that's true to that person. And if I voice my opinion about it, whatever that opinion is, I'm not it's a decision to that other person or to myself to let it threaten me.
Right.
There's no threat. There doesn't have to be a threat.
No. And that's the biggest thing. That's one of the things that I could say, and where my deserve level is that's the one thing I always discount. If somebody even says, my life never works out, nothing ever goes good, whatever that is. We hear it all the time, but of course, because I don't take it on as truth, it always flies out of my head. But I always say that if somebody's talking in a negative context, like this sucks and this is what always happens, you can't count on anybody, you can't do this or that, you've always got to do it yourself. Yeah. I always quickly say, well, that may be true for you, but that is not true for me.
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember it anymore. It's like it's over.
And then sometimes you wonder, why does this happen to me? Because then the struggle comes in. Why? I really want all these things, but I believe that everything sucks. And I don't understand why I keep getting things that I don't want.
Right. Because look in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's what you're saying.
We create I believe we create our reality.
We really do. And it's when you take responsibility for your reality, that's when you can start making shifts and changes. Yes. And here's the thing. Everybody has stuff that happens in their life. There is tragedy all around us. Mm-hmm. There's things that you just cannot control, right? But the thing is, you can't control how you respond and how you react to it. Those are the things that you can
control. Whether or not you let it slow you down, right. Whether or not, people are going to have their beliefs. Yeah. They're going to be who they always have been.
Right.
And you're not going to change them. You're never going to be able to know exactly what they're thinking. I don't care how well you know a person. No. You never will know how, unless you're like one of those X-Men with the hats on. Right?
No.
So,
because everybody has,
that's made up.
And everybody always has something to hide. There are things about people that some things will just never be, heard or let go of. They'll always be forever hidden. And when you do find them out, you're like, what? I never even thought for a minute, but that's what it is. But everybody has that stuff, but it doesn't mean it has to define you in any way.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
So, oh my gosh, any other last minute or last few things that you want to say about your deserve level coaching?
Already.
I know, because you wanted to do like an hour and a half. So
yeah, I just want to say I offer a free session. Anybody who is curious about what the deserve level shift process could do in their lives, and how it could improve. It's always best to have a one-on-one conversation, and we'll put it in the context of your life, and I'll show you what there is to that can be achieved. Yeah. So that's free.
So what is your phone number? Well, it's complimentary, really.
It's complimentary. Yes. So my phone number is 847-975-0785. And anybody who's interested in pursuing this, so if you do call me and you like what you hear, we are having 20% off of the co-coaching package that I'm a participant in. So
that's awesome.
Yes, and that is just, you get 2 coaches for, lots and lots and lots of support, and we will coach you to your aligned goals.
And I think that's amazing. And Kristin's information, you'll see it on the YouTube. I don't know how clear you can see it. I'm still working with it, like bugs that you're working out with. So, and her phone number, her phone number and her name is on the YouTube. So if you ever need to refer back, go ahead and do that. Make sure you share the YouTube with everybody. If there's anything that you want to talk about, or if you want to add things to our conversation, always let us know. You can always reach me at Rita Doman on Facebook. And you're also...
I'm on Facebook as well. I have a business page, Kristin Cross.
Oh my goodness.
Kristin Crockett, Deserve Level Coach. I don't want to say what's.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Kristin Crockett, Deserve Level Coach.
Yes, and then you
the
also
Deserve Level Movement.
And make sure that
Come
you
join. It's free.
Join, the Deserve Level Movement. That is a great way to get inspiration. She puts inspiration up all the time, and you'll automatically get that in your feed. That's one of the great ways to stay uplifted in whatever you're doing, especially now that we're going into the holiday season. So now that Halloween is past, it kicks us into the holiday season, and people start to feel stressed. People are talking about a lot of things, counting down the days. I was in my calendar myself and counting down the days and trying to figure out certain things. And people start to get a little crazy about how many Fridays are left, how many days are left here, how many weeks are left there. And you don't have to make yourself crazy. Just really observe and enjoy, because the holidays go by really fast. So if you can just take a moment and observe and absorb at least once a day, every day until the new year. When you come in January, you're going to be like, oh my God, that was fast. You're like, no, it was perfect, because you got to be in every moment of every day for this last quarter of the year, and you got to be in the holiday season. And I think that's amazing. So, oh my gosh. So thank you so much, Kristin. It was so much fun. You can reach me at justritarealtalk.com. My number is 815-814-2476. And make sure you guys get a hold of Kristin, because my gosh, she is amazing. And I love chatting with her all the time. She is awesome.
Thank
oh my
you.
gosh, I know, right?
This is really a huge honor, and I've really enjoyed being on the show.
Oh my gosh, you are so welcome.
Awesome.
I just love it. I love this show, and I'm so grateful that we still have it. And we're just making the show like great, to be quite honest. And here we go.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, everybody who is listening and watching. I'm so excited, and I'm always looking for guests. So please contact me, and we could go ahead and do this. So enjoy that music. I love it. All right, you guys, thank you. We'll see you on Monday.